Good morning, one. Unfortunately, DraftKings is not cooperating with us and doesn't want to fill a room. So today we're going to have to be drafting out loud on Underdog. We are in the 12 hole on this draft. We are trying to get in a couple last UDFA 2s before the competition closes down. So our players that we have highlighted are not going to be the same players that we have on DraftKings because DraftKings is where all the rookie value is at, which means we're not going to have as many rookies on our rank list here. Let's see if we have any if we go down here and look at our ranks. Look at that. See, none. Look at Omar Cooper because he's rising up the boards. That's the only one. So not many rookie values to get. Not any like extreme rookie movement on Underdog just because they're already not values. They're already priced up pretty high. Omar Cooper Jr. And we were talking about how Omar Cooper Jr. could go, I think it was like 10 or 15 picks higher, something like that. Wherever Jaden Higgins is of Houston, we thought like, okay, we could see him getting there. And seeing some of the people that Houston's thinking about taking, I mean, if Houston gets another wide receiver, then you're even more inclined to say Cooper maybe ahead of him, especially pre-draft before you know what's going on. Like truly. Let's see what we got coming to us here. Christian McCaffrey still on the board. We are under. There's Jefferson not getting to us, of course. That's what we say. Whatever it's us, he's not there. We are underweight CeeDee Lamb. We're underweight Christian McCaffrey. We're overweight James Cook. So, and I don't really want a whole ton of him. So these are going to be our first two options. If we have to, I guess we take James Cook, but we'll see if we can get Ashton Jeanty instead. Okay, we're going to get Ashton Jeanty. And then I have no idea who to take with them. We're not taking Achane. We're going to go Kenneth Walker, right? That'd be a potential bring back, right? Jeanty on Las Vegas and Walker on KC. Yep, that is what we're doing. Jeanty and Walker going with our traditional two running back. When I say R, I mean just like what's going on in the fantasy worlds these days. The traditional two running back start. We are now basically at weight for Ashton Jeanty on Underdog and still underweight on Kenneth Walker, but we're strategically doing something here. Pickens going way early in this draft. That's unfortunate that you know, Pickens goes right after us. That means everyone else is going to have everyone sliding on the boards like one pick. We're not getting any of that sweet ADP value. By the time it gets back to us, Pickens would be off the board almost no matter what. But it is what it is. Derrick Henry also getting pulled up the board here at 17. And Neighbors getting pulled up the board. So everyone here is going to be seeing something a little bit more unique. Yeah, Hampton usually goes somewhere over here, so you'd expect there'd be some falling values. Puka Nacua didn't fall in this draft at all. Puka Nacua is one player that I just haven't been lucky at all with where I've been picking and where Puka Nacua is going. Very unlucky. Based on our ranks, we got Trey McBride as a value, Rashee Rice rising up the boards, and then Josh Allen as a value, and then Devonta Smith rising up the boards, Colston Loveland as a value, DJ Moore as a value, Mike Evans rising up the boards at 44, and then David Montgomery I don't know if he's rising up the boards or a value, but I don't know. He starts to get less and less attractive as he gets more and more expensive. Let's see what we end up with here. Josh Allen, if he made it all the way to I saw him go to the fourth round one time. So I think these would be two players that we're going to be targeting the most here. AJ Brown expecting a rise if and when he gets traded. We've already gone like Garrett Wilson. We're not going Garrett Wilson, I can tell you that much, out of all of our options. We already got two running backs. We don't even need a third running back, but we could do that if one of these guys falls to us at 36. There goes Nico. Devonta Smith is definitely. Oh, there goes AJ Brown. There goes Brees Hall, which this just is not a fun place right here, if you ask me. I think Devonta Smith is our first option for this team. And I was going to say T. Higgins, but not going to happen. So Devonta Smith and Egbuka, maybe? Why not? We don't need a running back, so we passed on that. I already got Wilson. I actually have Wilson on almost every single team with Ashton Genty, so we definitely weren't going Wilson. And it's hard to get Lamar to fall all the way to the end. That being said, maybe this was the time to do like a Zay here because Josh Allen got all the way to 33. Maybe people just aren't excited for quarterbacks in this draft, and maybe Zay makes it all the way to, or Lamar makes it all the way to 60. I guess we'll find out if Lamar gets drafted 54 or earlier, then we made a good call maybe on getting these two. If he doesn't, then we made a bad call. The other question here is, do we want to take Hurts on the team at 61? Hurts is slowly rising up the boards. Is he picked like 68.9 or something like that now? Let's see if I got that memorized. That's 69 on here. I thought I saw 68.9, like he had risen up just a tad. But at 69, he's still, I think, risen up the boards compared to where he was before. If Mike Evans or David Montgomery fell to us, I guess we'd probably just have to consider taking them just because they're good values. Mike Evans doesn't fall to us. Don't really expect either of them to fall to us. Mike Evans, Trey McBride, bring back. Gibbs, Jacobs, bring back. This is like the chalkiest thing that I've seen all over and over and over again here. Robinson, Bowers, Rice. This is your Trey McBride, Jamar Chase of last year. Trey McBride, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins or Chase Brown of last year. Like that's this combo basically right now. Then he's got Waddle, which is a bring back here, right? So Watson getting pulled up. This is the Watson pick, like just because of that trade of Dontavian Wicks. Not that it really should impact Watson a whole lot, but Watson was getting some run at the end of the season when he came back from that injury. If he there, oh, look at this. Lamar made it all the way back to 54. Or wait, yep. We should have, I guess, drafted Zay. This is a tough one right here. There's Hurts and Williams. Okay, so QBs are falling, I guess, since Lamar. What's Lamar's ADP? 50. Yeah, so the QBs are falling. Okay. Well, this stinks. Cam Scadaboo's at least bring back on Devonta Smith. And then what do we do with this last one? See, I feel like just taking Hurts ahead of all of this mess. We're just going to do it again. Cam Scadaboo, Jalen Hurts. I'm just not convinced that any of these running back or wide receivers are the one. I don't even like the Cam Scadaboo pick a whole lot. That's actually we did that actually same thing last time. Devonta Smith, Scadaboo Hurts. Well, hopefully it works, right? We'll find out if we were now wrong the other way. If some of these other quarterbacks fall to us, right, then did we make the bad choice of taking oh, there goes Daniels. Okay, but that's past ADP. The T. Higgins drafter passed on Joe Burrow. Let's see if that was strategic or just, I mean, that's his only his second running back, so that kind of makes sense a little bit. The Jamar Chase drafter does not have a QB yet, so the chance that there goes Caleb to the Burden drafter. There's one of those rookies that's a value on DK, not so much on underdog. You'd think he'd be taking Joe Burrow with one of these next two picks. With kind of everything being equal, I think it just makes sense to just take Burrow in most cases, unless there's like a really good value or something that really kind of works with your team. We could do a Jackson Dart thing with our next pick if we wanted to get our QBs out of the way. 84, 85. He is 85, so it's like right at ADP essentially. We could also do a Patrick Mahomes things to go with Kenneth Walker, pull him up a little bit. So we actually did the Jackson Dart thing last time, so we will. Oh, we could always wait for Baker Mayfield to get to us, ideally. We only have two wide receivers. There goes Trevor Lawrence. Rico Dowdle getting pulled up. There goes Harold Phantom. Glad that he got taken. Okay. Give us two wide receivers, please. Oh, darn. Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin. Try to do the double on Tampa Bay. do it. Chris Godwin's one of our higher drafted players. So is Addison. They're both some of our highest drafted players. I'm sure I got both of them on another team somewhere. It does give us a nice Tampa Bay stack. It also gives us an out of Kyler Murray at 108 too. Either one. This guy's already got two QBs, so the chances of, and he got the double Jacksonville stack going. Good for him. He said sarcastically, not sarcastically. Okay. There's the rising Jaden Reed. Wandale, a value on this site, mainly a PPR scam, so I don't really see him as the value that the other players would be. We definitely still need a little bit of everything. Running back we're good at for the most part. We need a little bit of everything else. There goes Dobbins. Someone that used to go a lot cheaper. He's rising up the boards. Dobbins is rising up the boards even more. People are really, I guess, pricing in that he's going to be the starter, right? Patrick Mahomes goes at 96. I swear every draft I've been in, I take Rice somewhere around here, and then Mahomes gets snapped up like one or two picks right before me. And then I see other people, and Mahomes gets all the way, like, I don't know. I'm sure they feel the same way, but you're gonna hear me complain. That's what I do. Bo Nix, did he have Waddle? He didn't have Waddle. So just taking Bo Nix naked. Did he have Puka? He did have Puka. Getting Stafford at 100 with Corum and Adams. He's got and Williams. Okay, he's got I've not seen that. He's got the Los Angeles Rams super stack. There we go. He's going to get like two of the tight ends from the Rams as well. That would be pretty sweet. This guy's got two tight ends already. Price at 102. Our picks coming up here. We'd have to consider both of those. Oh, darn. I was hoping we get Reed. Where's our quarterback? Baker Mayfield right there. Jared Goff, Sam Laporta. There's Kyler Murray as well. Which one do we take? The double stack is probably the one we take, right? But it stinks there. Or do we take both of them? I don't think so. This hurts. There's Tony Pollard, which we've been talking about. Casey Concepcion, a rookie, rising up the boards also. Okay, we're taking Baker Mayfield just because we have the double stack. And then do we take the rookie? Do we take the fourth running back? We're gonna take the fourth running back. I don't know if that was the right call or not as I do it. But we did it. We can be done at running back here with four. I guess that's, kind of what I'm thinking a little bit. Like, I don't think Casey Concepcion could be great. He might not be. You hear as many very positive things about him as you do negative things. As Tony Pollard is falling, I want to take him more and more, like I was saying. Pick 109 feels good, is what is going on there. Kyler Murray is still available. The Justin Jeff is the Jefferson drafter going to pass up on him? Let's see. Let's get back to the board. Look, here's the Jefferson drafter. He took Jordan Love with Reed. Wow. So someone's going to get like unstacked Kyler Murray, most likely. There he goes for his second QB. Hard to pass up on that probably at that point in time, right? He has zero tight ends, so he can also grab TJ Hawkinson later on to kind of backstack it. I would do it too. Josh Downs with Warren is nice. I'm now overweight Tony Pollard on both DraftKings and Underdog. Way overweight Godwin. If Godwin has a great year, that's great for me. And Addison and Hurts, actually. So these are players I'm targeting right here. And then so actually all these players are players that I'm targeting. Not targeting, targeting, not really targeting, and then not really targeting. Not saying that I won't take him. I just did take him. Higgins going at pick 122. Mason 121. So based on our ranks, we have no tight ends yet, but this is the time when Goddard shows up, right? Right there. Our other QB is Baker Mayfield. I have seen like Kenyon Sadiq get mocked to Tampa Bay at times. Kincaid's in value, that's why he's on there. We'd consider doubling up at tight end if the right tight ends fell to us. Like George Kittle, we've like no George Kittle. I guess if he fell to us, we'd like have to do it all. We wouldn't have to do it, but like if we're gonna draft him, now's the time to draft him when he's well past. If it happens that way. Ferguson goes, that would have been someone we'd consider too, maybe at tight end. Does he does not have Dak, but it's a bring back on his Jane Daniels. Aaron Jones. That's been a target of ours on like every single draft. Is that I even forgot to mention him as a stack. I should have done that. Oh, he passed up on Aaron Jones to get Ferguson. That's interesting. Omar Cooper Jr. There goes Kittle. So these are our two biggest targets here. Oh, McMillan. Oh gosh. We're going with the two stacks is what we're doing here, which is kind of crazy, I guess. But let's passing up on Cooper. We're gonna do it though. My conviction on Cooper is not to the point where you want to pass up on someone that is of similar value that stacks with your team. And that guy got the falling Cooper. Man, we've kind of been in a spot where there's been multiple guys that we kind of wanted, which is always a good thing, but kind of a bad thing as well. That you feel like like no matter what, you can make the wrong decision type of thing. I've seen Cooper mocked to the Eagles in a draft as well. I mean, at this point in time, you've seen so many drafts, you've seen every single player mocked to every single team, basically. We have the Tampa Bay triple stack or quadruple stack if you count the QB. I don't think I've done this yet in a draft, but we needed wide receiver and tight end. They kind of made it to us. And you kind of expect them to get there based on ADP. I do think Baker Mayfield was getting drafted so early last year because he did so good the year before that. And then last year, if you read all the articles and like if you just follow the season, there was always talk of all the different injuries that he was going through. Assuming, injuries played a part in why he was maybe not as great as he was expected to be. It's another reason to maybe, pay up, get your Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year and see if while everyone else is scared running away, there goes Zach Charbonnet at 141. He's the best value on the board on underdog. This guy passed up on. Okay, so he had the Seattle stack too. He had the Seattle and the Indianapolis thing. It was gonna be hard to get both of them. Sure, he would have liked it if it happened. Keaton Mitchell, 145. Uh, Chargers and KC backstack. There you go. Good job. Oh, we need tight ends. We need wide receivers. We only have one. Yeah, we only have one tight end. So this is I think those are interesting picks right there. This would be just a good wide receiver, backstack on our Tampa Bay thing. There goes Hunter getting pulled up a little bit. Chig would be a backstack on our Philly thing. That makes sense too. I think those are our biggest targets. We have no reason to take the Houston or the Carolina guys. We don't need it. We don't really need to worry about getting Otten. We got so many Tampa Bay guys already. There goes so nice value on Stroud. These is it? Did he stack it up? He did not. In fact, I think I saw Bryce Young go before he would have preferred him. Glad that Strange went there that way. Didn't feel like I'm passing up on value. We're just gonna go and take Diggs and Juwan Johnson. We do have a lot of Diggs at 156. You got to feel good about it. Both of them slightly past ADP. Chig is also an interesting bet as well. We got a lot of Chig, I think. Overall, we don't have as much Johnson. Clip that. Yeah, we're well overweight on Diggs. Juwan Johnson, we are well underweight on underdog. We're just this Diggs pick, we're just playing kind of the the assumption that when he does sign, he goes up. You got to try to learn your lessons from the prior years. And so ideally, we're learning a lesson and just kind of scooping him up before he starts to rise. We might be wrong on that, but we'll find out. Hey, he got another stack with his Darnold right there, which is nice for him. So he's got Hampton, Judkins, Dobbins, Tracy Wilson. There you go. I like the running back. I mean, like it's not like a running back room where you're like, yes, I got all the studs, but Judkins, we don't know what's going to happen at first. So for him to have like Dobbins and Tracy and Wilson, I don't know. I mean, it's good. It's fine. You hope that one of them kind of does their thing. Robinson getting pulled up. We need, we can draft anything we want to at this point in time. We don't need running back, but we could do it if it was there. Debo, if he falls to us, is definitely our pick. I'm glad Emmett Johnson got drafted. We didn't want him. We do have a Tank Bigsby that could be a could just be our fifth running back. And we could call it quits there, and that'd be a stack with our Philly thing. Wicks goes way early. That's unfortunate. That would have been another player that we would have considered. He got pulled up way early for an Eli Stowers has a chance to be drafted by either of those teams. We could pull him up just a little bit. I think those are our three biggest targets on this team. If they all go, I think it's, we've been taking a lot of these running backs. Tajay Spears. Darn, there goes Debo. So these are our two biggest targets here. Tank Bigsby, Eli Stowers. He's already got three tight ends. It would have been fun to get, and okay, he went tight end anyways. Let's get, there we go. Okay. Eli Stowers as our third tight end. Is there a QB that makes sense? No, there's no QB that makes sense. Tank Bigsby. Come on down. Did he go five tight ends? Did I see that? He did go five. Wow, look at that. Five tight ends. Kelsey, Strange, Hawkinson. Where's the one? Did he hit it? Oh, Laporta, Kelsey, Strange, Hawkinson, Barner. That's crazy. This guy's got three QBs with Mendoza and Cousins being two of them, and not. Does he have Bowers? He doesn't even have Bowers, does he? He does not have Bowers because Bowers went over here. Yeah, that's interesting. Getting the Las Vegas QB room without any Las Vegas players, and getting Bryce Young with Coker and Dowdle from last year. Okay, he's doing something. Singleton goes at 187. I think he's like 190, so just slightly past ADP or ahead of ADP. Hopefully like running backs go here and hopefully tight ends go here because we don't really want either of those for the most part. That being said, do we have any Atlanta guys on our team? I don't think we do. We don't need Cleveland either. I do like, personally, the Aaron Rodgers, Pat Freiermuth connection. If you can get it late in the draft, Vidal gets pulled up. Helm, he might have Ward on his team. So we need wide receivers. Okay, so Atlanta, and then Atlanta, if we could get like a falling Atlanta QB, that'd be like kind of like a bring back on Tampa Bay as well. That would kind of make sense potentially. If we can get Tyreek Hill this far past ADP though, like I think we got to do it. Darnell Mooney uh, is a bring back also. So I think either of those are fine. Trey Tucker's also a bring back, not a fan. That could work. There's Kate Otten still on the board. Flournoy is a bring back. Way down the board, there's Hollywood Brown. We can get he's been falling, so we're not going to take him at. We don't need to. Oh, there goes Freiermuth. So probably good that Freiermuth went. Then we don't got to really consider Aaron Rodgers at all. So these guys have like no wide receivers. That'd be a reason for them to take Tyreek Hill and maybe a reason for them not to take Tyreek Hill. We don't have much DK ever since Tennessee re-signed Ridley and then also signed Wandale. It's a tough pick. There's a chance Hill falls past these guys. 776. Seven? There's like, why do these guys need Hill? And we only have six. Oh, darn. Couldn't get it. Darn, now they're just going. I mean, do we just take Hollywood Brown? I don't like it with what's going on. I mean, maybe there goes Aaron Rodgers. Trey Tucker. Why not? And then Flournoy. I don't feel good about either. I don't feel good about any of these guys, to tell you the truth. Just taking two of them is what we did. And there goes DK. There goes Brazel. These picks are kind of just let down blah picks, if you ask me. If like Hill or Mooney fell to us, we feel slightly more excited about them. Instead, we just got guys because we need to get guys. It would have been nice to get some ADP value out of them, even though all these are $1 picks. If Penix falls to us, we'll take Penix. If Hollywood falls to us, we'll take Hollywood. Gesicki getting pulled up the board. Imanor getting pulled up the board as well. All these guys getting pulled up the board. So Dulcich getting pulled up the board. It's the five tight end. Oh, there goes Penix turn. I maybe I just take like Penix is one of these picks. He's got four QBs. Guess he could do it. He's looking a little rough at tight end with who's he got? Hellman who? Oh, Hellman Loveland. Never mind. Okay. Nothing left at QB. Hurts and Baker are fine, which means that we can do whatever we want with these two picks. Hollywood, Hurst, Bell. Hurst is kind of rising up the boards. Torrey Horton's an interesting pick as well. I think Horton's like more likely to do something than Hurst. Let's just go Torrey Horton. Because we didn't get our first until there. There's nothing at running back that says we need to go there. Parkinson's available, but we don't need another one. We're gonna go Hollywood Brown for the stack with our last pick. Go a 2-5-10-3. We're going to kill him with volume at wide receiver. We'll see what happens. Anthony Richardson saw something that said that there's some rumors of him getting traded to Pittsburgh. Oh, interesting. Was that the Aaron Rodgers guy? Look at that. Boom. Boom. Does he have any other? Is he stacking up with anyone else from Pittsburgh? DK Metcalf. There you go. I kind of like that. Rodgers and Richardson. I like it. I don't know about the five tight ends. That is interesting, right? Like someone that is maybe smart enough to do this is also, some might say dumb enough to do that. Interesting. He is good at wide, like, he's got four wide receivers right there. He's got 5 through 7, and then he got Cooper as well. So 6 through 12. He's looking good at wide receiver. He's got Cook, Swift, Algier. You could say that's like 3 starters. And then Kamara, James. Sure, you can stop at 5 if you want to. That's probably like, once 18 round drafts happen, that's probably like a 5 running back room. So he's got everything he needs for the most part. You can't say he's horrible on something, but 5 tight ends is crazy work. He got most of them he got Laporta at a value. Kelce usually goes around the spot here. He got Strange at a value. He got Hawkinson at a value and Barnard at a value. So he just kept on drafting, just taking the ADP value on these players. I passed up on Barner to get Stowers because there's a chance that maybe he goes to Tampa Bay or Philly. Both of them have tight ends that are either like in last year's of uh, Goddard last year contract and Cade Otton signed a new contract, but I don't think they have much backing him up. And I've seen mocks where Tampa Bay gets a tight end, so that is a chance. With 5 tight ends here, it's still kind of crazy that Parkinson got drafted all the way back here. Was this to the guy that had Stafford? It wasn't. The guy that had Stafford passed up on. Did he get either? Wow. He got 7 running backs instead with Brown and Williams. And he got only 2 tight ends in Helm and Loveland. Okay, so he didn't really need the 3rd tight end. If I was him, I would have gotten Parkinson though, right there. I might not have gotten Helm. Pass up on Helm here. Yeah, like pass up on Helm here. Get Tajay Spears, a different Tennessee guy if you really want a Tennessee guy, and then get Parkinson here all day long. All day long. That's just me though. I could be wrong. Okay, so let's see how we did. 2, 5, 10, 3. A lot of wide receivers. We did go rather light. We had 4 through 10, and we didn't get our first one until the 3rd round, and then we took another detour before we got the rest of them. So kind of makes sense that we're a little heavy on it. 10's extremely heavy, but this guy went 11, and he went even lighter. So that makes sense why he went 11. He went 4. So we're going to compare ourselves to this guy because we are similar builds. So he went 4 running backs. He went 4 even earlier. He pulled up. He got a falling Monty. Good for him. He pulled up Harvey, though. Not sure why he did that, but he did. He got a falling Fannin. No, that's like his ADP right there. He did. We were considering Dart. We didn't take him though, and he got Neighbors and Dart for one of his stacks. Okay, but let's running back. He's got 4 running backs through 6 rounds. Makes sense that he stopped there. We had 3 through 5, and then we got Pollard in the 10th, and then who do we take with our? And then we took Bigsby, a Philly guy, at 181 in the 16th. So I think him stopping at 4 is fine. I think us stopping at 5 is fine. He's got two QBs. We got two QBs. He got Allen earlier. He at a little bit of a value. We pulled up Hurts to stack with Smith. Then he got Dart, and we waited around for Mayfield. So we did what most people aren't doing these days and took only two QBs. In fact, there was only one other team that went two QBs, Burrow and Knicks. Everyone else went three or more. So we're zigging while others are zagging, or zagging while others are zigging, or however you want to put that. So it makes sense why we both went two QBs. Makes sense why I have one more running back. He has one more wide receiver, and right away you can kind of see why that makes sense. He's got 1 through 8, and then he went Johnson Concepcion here. So I'm sure he was happy that he fell with this pick. I was kind of debating whether I take him or Pollard. I'm fine with my Pollard pick because it makes me feel really good about, I could have stopped at 4 running backs as well, but I felt like getting that Tank. We'll look at Tank Bigsby pick, see if that was a smart pick. You could have argued that taking Concepcion or Golden, probably not Golden that early, but he's eventually going to make it here probably. You could say that taking Concepcion here would have been better, possibly. I think Pollard just has a chance to pay off just as much, if not maybe more. Maybe less, right? Of course, who knows? But take Pollard there. So he had three wide receivers through 10. I had 4 through 10, so not many more than him, but earlier in general and more higher quantity and overall a higher quality as well. And then I took my 5th one in the 11th. He didn't take his 4th one until the 13th in Ayuk, which is a rather risky play, but he's going for upside, which makes sense. We took Diggs, who maybe less upside, but maybe more chance, just like overall chance at ADP value, assuming he signs. There's, I think, better chance that Diggs signs a contract versus Ayuk, considering Ayuk's coming off an injury and craziness, and Diggs has just got legal craziness going on. Then he took Mitchell. I like the Mitchell pick, but I think I like it more after the draft because the Jets. What happens if the Jets take like one of the top wide receivers? What happens to Mitchell then? I don't know. Probably not good things. They took then they just went wide receiver the rest of the way down is what they did. Yeah, so it makes sense why they took Hill. We were really hoping for like the Hill pick to get to us. It didn't happen. We were debating Brazel as well. We didn't do it. Keon Coleman stacks. We were debating Hurst actually here also with one of these picks. So they're just kind of like throwing things at it and hoping that there's a player here that spikes, right? Like, fingers crossed, see what happens. We have 10 and overall just a couple more proven players and earlier players as well. So it makes sense why they have 11, makes sense why they have 10. And then we both have 3 tight ends, and that makes sense too. Just 3 is the standard amount. They got Fannin, and then they took 3 before we took they took 3 almost at the same time we took our first one. These 2 stack though, so it makes sense why they did it. And this one's at value. So they went heavy at tight end. We went slightly less heavy and slightly more risky in that we have a rookie as one of our 3 tight ends. Overall, I think we both did okay with our teams. Who do you think did better? The guy with 11 wide receivers or the guy with 10 wide receivers? Let me know when I think we found a title for this one. See you on the next one. Peace.